The door of my bookstore creaked open slowly that afternoon, but it wasn't the sound that caught my attention. It was the trembling breath of the girl standing in the doorway. She looked no older than 16 or 17. Her clothes were worn, her hair messy from the wind, and her eyes carried a kind of quiet desperation I had only seen in people who had run out of places to go. She hesitated, stepped inside, and whispered, "Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you. I need a job, anything. I can clean shelves, arrange books. Please, I need some help." I didn't know it then, but the moment she spoke, my life and my son's life was about to change forever. Her arrival was the first crack in a secret buried for 16 long years. Asterisk, asterisk, I asked her to sit. She shook her head at first, like she wasn't used to being offered comfort, but eventually she sank into the chair. Her hands were trembling, fingers tightly interlocked, as if she was holding herself together with the last bit of strength she had left. I pushed a glass of water toward her. "Relax, you're safe here," I said gently. She took the glass but held it like it might break. Her voice quivered. "I won't take long. I don't want to cause trouble. I just need enough to eat for a few days and a place to stay for tonight. I can work, please." Her words didn't just fall, they collapsed. I asked softly, "Where are your parents?" Her eyes lowered, and for a moment she swallowed hard, fighting back something heavy. "My mom. She passed away last month," she whispered, voice breaking mid-sentence. I felt something tighten inside me. "I'm sorry," I said, but the words sounded useless. "What was her name?" I asked, not expecting the answer to matter. She hesitated. Something about the question scared her. Then she looked up at me and said the name that made my entire world tilt under my feet. "Maria? Maria Can." My breath caught. My fingers froze on the desk. The name hit like a shockwave through my spine. Maria. The same Maria who once changed my son's life forever. The same Maria who vanished 16 years ago, leaving questions my son never answered. The same Maria whose name he refused to talk about again. And now, her daughter was sitting in front of me. I stared at the girl, and she noticed my expression. Her voice trembled. "Sir, are you okay? Did I say something wrong?" I forced myself to breathe. "Can you wait here just a moment?" She nodded, confused and frightened. "If you want me to leave, I can. I understand. People don't really like—" No, I interrupted. "You're not leaving. Just wait." I stepped into the back room, hands shaking, and dialed my son's number. He picked up instantly. "Dad, is everything all right?" "Allie, I need to ask you something." He sensed the seriousness. "What is it?" I swallowed. Maria Khan." There was a silence so deep I could hear my own heartbeat. Then he spoke, barely a whisper. "Dad, why are you saying her name?" "She's here," I said quietly. "In the bookstore. Asking for a job, Ali." She said her mother was Maria. For the first time in years, my son's voice cracked. "Dad, don't let her leave." "I'm coming right now." He hung up before I could respond. I went back to the girl. She was staring at the floor like she expected the worst. "Sir," she said softly, "I think you don't want me here. Please don't call the police. I'll leave. I've slept outside before. I can." I stopped her immediately. "No one is calling the police. And you're staying right here. You're safe." She didn't believe me at first. You could see it in her eyes. She wasn't used to trust. 10 minutes felt like an hour. Then the door burst open. Ali rushed in. His chest heaving, eyes wide like he had been running not just from the street outside, but from 16 years of buried memories. He saw her. He froze. The girl stared back at him, confused but alert, like a stray animal unsure if it's about to be rescued or hurt. Ali took one step toward her. Then another, Dad, he whispered, not looking away from her. She looks just like... The girl stepped back. Like who? Who are you? Why are you staring at me like that? Ali swallowed hard. Tears filled his eyes before he could stop them. You look like Maria, he whispered. Like your mom. She stiffened. Her jaw tightened. Don't talk about my mom. You don't know anything about her. Ali choked. I knew her. Very well. She told me something before she left. Something I never had the courage to believe. She looked at him, confused and overwhelmed. What are you talking about? He stepped closer, eyes breaking. She told me she was pregnant with my sibling. Silence, heavy, suffocating. The girl blinked, stunned. No, that's not true. I don't have a brother. I never did. Mom never... She didn't tell you, Ali said, tears running freely now. She didn't want you to hate her, or to think your life was a mistake. The girl shook her head violently. Stop, please stop. Why would she hide something like that? Why would she keep you away? He whispered, because she wanted to protect you. She told me she didn't want you growing up between families, between names, between guilt and bitterness. She asked me to stay away, to let her raise you without complications. And I obeyed her. The girl's lips trembled. You're lying? Ali reached into his pocket with shaking hands and unfolded a small old photograph. It was worn around the edges, kept too long, touched too often. It was Maria, pregnant, smiling at the camera. With Allah's arm wrapped around her, the girl stared at the photo as if the earth beneath her cracked in half. That's my mom, she breathed. I've never seen this picture. She never showed me this. Ali whispered, I kept it hidden all these years. I didn't want to break her promise. She looked between us, Ali, then me, tears filling her eyes faster than she could blink them away. So what does that make you? She asked, her voice barely audible. Ali, with trembling breath, answered, your brother. Her legs gave out and she collapsed into the chair, hands covering her face. The sobs came suddenly deep, painful, years of loneliness pouring out of her all at once. I've been alone for so long, she cried. I thought nobody in this world even knew I existed. Ali knelt in front of her and gently took her hands away from her face. You were never alone, he whispered. I just didn't know how to reach you. But I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. She looked at him, her voice splitting. Do you really want me? His reply was immediate. I've wanted you in my life since the day Mom told me about you. I stepped closer, my own heart trembling as I placed a hand on both of their shoulders. Your family, I said softly. And family isn't something you walk away from. It's something you protect. The girl cried harder, but this time not from fear, from relief, from belonging, from finally being seen. Ali hugged her, and she hugged him back hesitantly at first. Then, with a lifetime of held-back emotion, when she finally pulled back, she asked in a small voice, what about the job? I couldn't help but smile. You already have a place here, not as an employee, but as a daughter of this home, as part of this family. She wiped her tears, confused. A daughter? But you barely met me. I cupped her cheek gently. I didn't meet you today. I found you today. That's different. Sunlight poured in through the bookstore windows, soft and warm, lighting up her tired face. And for the first time, she didn't look lost. She looked like she belonged somewhere. Ali placed his arm around her shoulders. Let's go home, he said. She whispered, I've never had one. He smiled through his tears. You do now. And that day, inside a quiet bookstore surrounded by stories of every kind, a new story was born, one made not of ink and paper, but of truth, healing, and a family finally made whole.